right, guys, I am here to share with you what sold for me this past week. I did make over $200 profit per day in these past 7 days, so I'm really excited to share what's selling right now for you and about how much. So if you're new here, my name is Heather and I go by the Canary Closet everywhere. All that information is down below if you want to follow me anywhere else. Please subscribe if you haven't yet and give this video a thumbs up. We're going to talk about what I sold today, how much I sold it for, on what platform, and this should help you to know what brands are selling for right now, for how much, maybe on average. Sometimes I do take lower offers than other resellers might, and kind of be what to look for right now in the thrift store. So we're going to start with Depop. Let me minimize myself. I do have a little post-it note in the corner to remind myself to talk about my numbers at the end because I seem to always forget lately. So finally, I made some Depop sales, but before I talk about that, I do have a viewer, Carol, that bought that Allie and Holly like plaid shacket from me. I actually don't know if you guys have seen that in a haul yet. I've got a couple videos scheduled to come out. If you haven't, it was a new with tags, I think, or maybe it was used. It's from the Buckles, but very, very fall item, super cute. She got that for $25 plus shipping, so thank you, Carol, for that. I have another friend, Lindy, I think that's picking up some Lululemon joggers from me today. So that is always appreciated. Anytime you guys are interested in something, just message me. So the two things that sold on Depop, the first one was this. This is a Helmut Lang blazer. This sold for $50, which is great. I just picked this up recently. Usually when I get this brand, that doesn't sell very quickly. So I was happy when this one did. Here's what the tag looks like. This was a size 12 black blazer. Nothing that special, but this is an expensive brand. I'm going to have to move my little, you know what? I'm just going to hopefully remember. I'm going to move my paper over somewhere off my screen so it doesn't block me. And then the other thing I sold yesterday was this mountain shirt. This sold for $29.80. And this is a men's Shark 3X long sleeve t-shirt. It's from the Mountain. It says 2013 on this one. They make a lot of like printed animal type shirts, and some of them can sell really well. I decided to try this because it was a 3X and a long sleeve, so a little bit maybe more substantial than a short sleeve. Let me know down below if you guys sell shirts from the Mountain and how they sell for you. Next up, two things on Mercari this week. I sold these Vionic sandals for $27.20. They were in a size 6.5. These are a pair of pink, kind of a platform metallic type feel, I guess, slide sandals. Yeah, 15% off. That was a great sale. And then I also sold this rose and olive shirt. So this sold for $19.99, which is not a ton, but trying out the brand. So this is a brand I never even would have thought twice to look at before, but I am experimenting with different styles and different brands. I think that I don't know, it just gives me more options. So this was a 3X, and it had a paisley print on it. It was more of a tunic length. So very kind of artsy and colorful spring summer. I have said past recently in videos that 3X has been my best plus size brand or plus size size lately. So I'm really happy with this. This sold in about a week for $19.99. Definitely a bread and butter type sale, but maybe I'll start picking it up. I don't know. Let me know if you guys do. That is interesting. I'm watching Jack here on YouTube. I'm watching Twilight on Netflix. Oh my gosh. I know it's really cringy, but I'm like, oh my gosh, it just came back on Netflix. I'm like, I have to watch it. Okay. Let's go on to Poshmark. Poshmark, we have an Anne Fontaine dress, and I meant to open that in a new window, but that's okay. This only sold for $14. My pictures weren't the best. I think this was before I figured out how to try to like make my black pictures better. Although this brand doesn't do super amazing. It just depends on the style and the piece. This was definitely a lower, like, I mean, dresses can be good, but it wasn't that nice. Okay, next up, let's just keep going. This was an IC by Connie K jacket. I have had this one for a while. It only sold for $10. It wasn't a size large. I don't feel like this brand does as good as it used to anymore. Sometimes the larger sizes can do better, but even so, I don't know. Because, I mean, this one was a larger size, but maybe it needs to be like an extra larger plus size. This was like a textured like cardigan type thing, so only $10 on that. I saw these men's Lululemon shorts for $26. Sorry, I have hiccups. These sold really pretty fast. Oh my gosh. Let's see if I can speak today. Men's Lululemon commission shorts. I did pay a little bit more than I normally would for my brother, and I forgot to like crop this, so oops, but that's okay. It did show the people what the fit was. Usually I like to take my stock photo, move it up to my first one for Poshmark. I didn't do that here. They still sold really fast. Next up were these Bionic sandals for $16. I definitely could have got more for these, but I have been accepting lots and lots of offers this week just because it's been a little slow, and some money is better than no money. Although these are a decent amount worn with those toe prints. So $16 on the Bionic sandals. I sold these Brooks shoes for $40. This was an excellent sale. These were a size 9. They were called the Ghost 12. So always want to look up your style number on Brooks because some of them can sell higher than, most. So it has the style number right up there. $40 for a pair of used sneakers. I am happy with that. I sold these Robert Clergery. How do you say that? Shoes for $44. I would say this is probably a Bolo brand, but it does seem to be slow moving for me. These ones were a 7.5. They had some patent leather and suede, and they were a Mary Jane style shoe. So happy with that sale. I also sold these vintage mud boots for $36. I got these at a garage sale just maybe last week or 2 weeks ago. Really cool, very 90s, very Y2K with the patchwork. They were faux leather. I have another pair, but they're not patchwork ones. They're more of a solid brown. So I did feel like that these ones were more desirable. So if you see vintage mud with these chunky boots like this, pick it up. I sold 2 swimsuits for $70. There was a whole bunch of these swimsuits at a local thrift world. I picked up the pairs that matched, and then I picked up some cute tops. So I do have a lot, but this is the brand Skatie, Skatie, if you are listening. So I sold this bikini, and then I also sold this one. So they were both in a size extra large, and they were like a brown leopard print. Obviously, you can see I listed them way higher, and I'm taking offers. I will sell 2 swimsuits for $70, and that is fine. That brand, and when I did look up comps, it was very, very mixed. Some people sold them really cheap. Some people sold them for a lot. I just decided to try high to start, but I was happy to take that offer really quickly. These are a pair of Garnet Hill joggers. They were organic Pima cotton, like a pair of kind of like lounge pants or printed jogger pants. They only sold for $15. Next up were another pair of Brooks shoes. Oops, I missed those other shoes. I'll get back to those. These ones sold for $32, so a couple good sales from Brooks shoes this week. I love selling Brooks. They're a good running shoe brand to be to look out for. Their logo kind of looks like a backwards check mark. These ones were the GTS 20. So you can see in here too, when you look at the size tag, if it's like really nice and it's not worn off, that probably means that they weren't worn very much. And then just check the tread on the bottom too. So those ones were great. Here's the other shoes. These were a Nisolo shoes that sold for $20 on an offer. I had a different pair that sold for a lot more, but they were a more substantial. I think they were like a boot maybe. These ones were a pair of 6.5 black leather pointed toe flats. So, I mean, I'm happy with a $20 sale. Next up was this Burberry London men's shirt. I did decide to sell this men's item myself. This is a size large red Novacek short sleeve polo. I do give a lot of men's stuff to my brother, but sometimes I just keep stuff for myself to sell for fun. My brother's Poshmark closet is linked below if you want to check out some men's items. Next up, I sold these Noble shoes. These are a women's size 9 mesh shoes, and they sold for $20. I don't think it's the most popular style, but I would definitely still keep picking up the brand. I like selling them, and they always sell for me. It never gets to a point where I have to consign them. Next up was this J. Jill dress. This sold for $25. This was a size 2X, which is why I decided to get it. I like to get J. Jill in the larger sizes, and they have to have some other factors too. So this was a plaid like gingham dress, shirt dress, which I felt like is pretty cute. And dresses are selling really well right now, so happy with that sale. Next up was this Ming Wang cardigan, and this buyer messaged me after she got it, and she said, "Do you take returns? Because I didn't buy this." Speaking of, she sent that to me yesterday, and I haven't responded. I don't know. Poshmark's not going to let you return it. I don't know if you accidentally bought it or what, but it was an extra small cardigan that sold for $30, which is rare because usually they do not sell for that much. So let's return to her or respond to her really quick. I never made this order. Okay. I'm going to say sorry. So whatever I say in real life, I'm obviously not going to say that to my customers. You have to have good customer service. Like, because my real response would not be like this. Does not allow returns for accidental purchase. I'm going to say, if I can type, feel free to reposh and use my photos to sell. Thanks. Oops. Okay. Let's keep going. Next up, I sold this Pottery Barn pillowcase cover, which I'm pretty proud of myself because I'm just starting to try to experiment with linens. This was a size 20. Wow, this was a 20 by 20. It sold for $25. I did look it up. It was just one pillowcase, but it did have pretty good comps on that exact print. So I went ahead and bought it. Next up were these Judy blue jeans that sold for $28. These were new with tags in a size 29, and they were a pair of high-rise flares. So really good style. I would still pick them up again, but they're not going to go for as much as they used to. Like I used to be able to probably sell used ones for that much, and that one was new. Here's another swimsuit top from that brand Skady. So these people just offered me $15. Since I have a lot of these swimsuit brands or like tops, I am accepting a lot of offers on them just because obviously I would like to sell them throughout the summer. Next up was this Pure Collection sweater. This sold for $25 pretty quickly. This one was in a size 4, and I got it because it was 100% cashmere. So cashmere is still selling good as we're getting into the spring. Sometimes it slows down a little bit, but I am happy with that. Next up were these Citizens of Humanity jeans that sold for $25. These ones were the Lila boot cut, so they were a better style than just their older like skinnies or crops. So that is why I decided to get those. They do have the style name printed right on the inside of the waistband, so I was happy with that sale. I sold a bundle of 2 items for $45. One item was this pair of Dr. Liza heels. I have had these for quite a long time. When I looked online, it seemed like they were kind of like a comfort brand for heels. Some of them had sold for a lot of money. It did say made in Brazil in the bottom, so that is kind of why I decided to look them up. I mean, they eventually did sell, but obviously not for as much as I wanted. And then this mustard seed kimono sold with it super fast. Again, this is another brand that I have never picked up to resell, but I'm going with it based on style. So it was a long duster, like tie-dye kimono, and it sold really fast in this bundle. So I am happy with that. Here's another Skady swimsuit. This one was a one piece, and this one was a size small. This sold for $20. So here's what it looks like on the inside. I would not say pick up everything. I mean, the sets and the one pieces maybe. These ones are new and they're still selling for this much. So I don't know if it'd be like a guaranteed of a good sale. Next up was this men's Adidas Originals shirt. I did just accept an offer of $15 because I kind of just bought this because I thought it was really cool and fun. I knew it wasn't going to be worth a lot. But like I said, I was accepting offers that were like 40% off. But if I wouldn't have, I would have made way less money this week. Here's another Skady bikini. This one sold for $40, so I only had 2 of these ones with this like more of like a bandeau top. So listed for $60, they offered me $40. I went ahead and took that. Next up were these American Eagle shorts in a size 4. These were the 90s boyfriend shorts, distressed, like lots of distressing. I don't know for shorts if the distressing is still out as well, kind of like how it is on jeans, because these ones were like pretty destroyed. They only sold for $11. These Everlane pants, however, sold really fast. And Everlane is not a brand that I'm on the lookout for pants and jeans. But I kind of just had a feeling about these. They were organic cotton, kind of more of a relaxed style. And they sold really quickly for $24. Next were a pair of Free People heels. I have had these for probably 5 to 6 months. So I'm happy that they sold. They were the Lena block heel. Patent leather with the straps around the ankle. I don't know. Nothing special, but a good little sale, I guess. This Nilly Lotan shirt I've had for a while. This brand is really expensive, but some stuff doesn't do amazing from them. This was a striped black and white long sleeve like t-shirt, cotton, 100% cotton. Next, I sold this bundle for $185. This was amazing. These were 3 items. So let me show you because, oh shoot, I didn't open a new window. Now I'm gonna have to scroll down. Okay. Judy blue jeans in a size 31, Anine Bing jeans. Let me show you the tag for that in case you guys don't know it. Anine Bing is very expensive. I did sit on these for quite a while, but they did eventually sell. These were new with tags as well. And then the other were a pair of Mother Superior jeans. So Mother Superior also, and these were used, guys. I had them listed for $125. So yeah, I'm really happy with that offer. These are the Tomcat ankle. Really good style. I would definitely pick these up again. I would pick up all of that stuff again. So Yay for that amazing sale. Oh, it went right back to where I was. And is that it? I think that's it. Okay, let's move on to eBay. eBay. Okay, these are sales the 16th through May 22nd. These are a pair of Ming Wang pants. I sold both of them together. They just went ahead and bought them outright and used my 15% off coupon. I do always have a coupon running in my eBay store. I think I had that on one of my highlights on my Instagram stories. If you guys don't know how to create a coupon on eBay, you can go over there and watch that. It's right on my profile. I'm not going to click into these. They were 2 pairs of black size large pull-on dress pants, and they sold for $70 with a coupon. Next up was this Eileen Fisher sweater. This sold for $27.30 with a coupon. I actually already sold this before. This is Eileen Fisher Woman, which is a plus size and is 100% linen brown cardigan sweater. Next up was this Disney Parks hoodie. These people bought this full price, but they didn't use a coupon, so maybe they didn't see it. It was a full zip. Disney Parks does have a tag that has a little castle on it like this. Don't get everything from Disney Parks. It's very tempting for me. But a full zip hoodie in a plus size that's double-sided does well. So I used a collage app so that you could see that it's double-sided in the main picture, because sometimes that's the only thing that people look at. So I am really happy with that sale. Next up were a pair of True Religion jeans that sold for $34.99 with a coupon. I just picked these up at a garage sale for $1. I think these are the actual low-rise ones. You can see the zipper is extra tiny. They were in a size 29, so I am really happy with that sale. They sold quickly. Another item I got at that same garage sale for $1. This was a Harley Davidson tank top. Knowing that they were only charging me $1, I did get some Harley tops, and I just priced them lower. Next up was this Frank and Eileen shirt. This sold for $70. This was new with partial tags from Nordstrom. This was the Shirley shirt. I've had this since December. It did get marked down a couple of times. I think I paid $35 or something for this, so not a ton of profit, but I'm still happy that it sold for $70. Next up was this Polo Ralph Lauren men's sweater that sold for $20. I just listed this, so I was happy just to take a quick little flip. This was a merino wool quarter zip sweater. I sold this Free People dress for $56.70. This was a size medium. This was new with tags. It was called the In Your Dreams dress. I wish I could have got more for this, but I've had this for a little while, and that's what it sold for. Next was a Draper James dress that sold for $40 with a coupon. So this is the regular Draper James tag. It's not the RSVP line, which is the one sold at Kohl's, which I would not recommend getting. This dress was also seen on Reese Witherspoon, and I don't know if that's a model picture or a different actress there, but I was really happy with that. Also, she makes that brand, so I guess that's not as seen on. She probably just modeled it. I'm stupid. This is a Bryn Walker top. This sold for $27. Bryn Walker is a good lag and look brand that I like to pick up. Lag and look means like it's usually oversized. It's lots of layering. It's lots of more minimalist colors, kind of artsy. This is a size large modal cowl neck top. $27 on these. I just sold these New Balance shoes, $29.99. I'm starting to experiment with my pricing a little bit, just doing that 1 cent lower, so it looks like it's in the 20s rather than 30. We'll see if I feel like it's making any difference. This sold for that price with a coupon. I just picked these up at a garage sale. They were in like new condition, and I actually found out by looking up the style code that these were a pair of fast pitch softball shoes. So I made sure that I put that in there. Definitely we are in the season for baseball and softball, so pick those items up if you see them. I sold this Lacoste sweatshirt for $30 with a coupon. This was a pullover sweatshirt. It did have a little oil stain that I couldn't get out. Still sold pretty well. Next up with the brand Saucony. I think that's how somebody told me I pronounce it. This sold for $33.60 with a coupon. These are a pair of black with a neon green. They were a really large men's size and a size 15. But this brand has been selling pretty good for me, especially this Kinvara like style. You can see that right there in the back of the black from Saucony. So I'm happy with that. This Free People dress sold for $35 with promoted listings. Extra small, like a reddish pink fit and flare maxi dress. That is really cute. I also do promote all of my listings on eBay. I use the tools that they give me to make more sales. You can see that these ones are sold promoted listings, promoted listings, promoted listings, promoted listings. Like literally, if I didn't have that turned on, how many sales would I make? I don't know. Next up is a pair of Ultra men's shoes that sold for $40. I've been loving selling this brand lately. It's been selling me for around $40 or more. and it's been selling pretty quickly. These were a men's size 12. They were really clean. I did throw these in the wash before I listed them and got them just even more clean. Next up were these American Eagle jeans in a size 6 long. I tried these on for myself, not long enough. I need 6 extra long. These sold for $29.99 with a coupon. They were the favorite boyfriend jean, super stretch. I mean, I guess I would pick those up at the thrift store if I saw them for low because they sold quickly. I sold this vintage satin floral lace top for $14. Kind of just experimenting with this as a style-based piece. 14 is not bad for a tank top, but I have been getting more on some other style-based tank top pieces, so we'll see if any of those are in the rest of these sales here. Next up, I sold this Eileen Fisher top for $56.70 with a coupon. This was new with a button. This was also 100% silk. So 100% silk Eileen Fisher, even in the smaller sizes, it definitely still does well. Next up were these Keen sandals. These sold for $30 with a coupon. These were a pair of size 8. Ellie? I feel like Ellie's eating the cat's food, or maybe that's a cat. My dog's always trying to get into the cat food. This closed toe sandal style sells really fast for me. These ones had the size rubbed off. As you can also see, I do not take off the thing off the shoes. I stopped taking off the prices and it's not matter. It doesn't matter. You guys can do that if you want to personally, but I'm done wasting my time doing that. They can know that I paid $7 for them, that they're going to pay $30. Like, I literally don't care. Anyway, they measured up against another pair of shoes and they looked like a size 8. So I just put that in the description. Seems like a size 8 based on measurements. And I put a measurement at the bottom of the sole. So I guess that worked. Next up was an Anthropologie top in a size 3X. This sold for $24. This was a lightweight button-up green plus-size top. So really happy with that. That sold quickly. This was the brand Brody. This sold only for $20. Also, again, before I knew how to make my black items look better. It was 100% cashmere, but I've had this for a really long time. Like, I wore this one time for church or something. And it finally sold. Next up was this Baltic Born dress that sold for $25. Baltic Born does not sell as good as it used to anymore. This was new with tags. I accepted an offer of $25 just to go ahead and get it moving. But I'll still pick it up if it's really cute and new. I feel like I just know not to expect to get much out of it. I sold this Free People dress in a size medium. This sold for $39.78. This was new with tags as well. So just because something is new with tags and has a super high retail does not mean that it's going to sell for that much. This one was also like a sheer kind of one, and it didn't have a slip underneath. I don't think. So anyway, maybe it did. Anyway, that's what it sold for. Next up was this Planet G shirt. This sold for $30. This did just get relisted. So I've been relisting the last 2 weeks, and I still don't know how I feel about it. On a positive, I feel like some things are selling because of relisting. Like, are they? There's no way to know. But I know it was just relisted. On a negative, when I was going to try to go in and do my eBay markdown sale, I did a new markdown sale. Not very many items are in that markdown sale because things are relisting. So I don't really know how I feel about that yet. Let me know down below. Do you guys use the relist feature? And do you like it? So for my eBay markdown sale, I went in and did that manually. For my relisting, I go ahead and use PrimeLister for that. I can go in and set up automations of how many I want relisted per day. I can put in certain features like how much money, like if you want it to be a minimum amount or a maximum amount, you can choose how many days it's been on the site. So I do at least 60 days or more. So if you guys want to try out PrimeLister, it's also is what I use for all of my sharing automation. There is links down below in the description. It saves me like a ton of time with my business. That being said, I'm happy with this sale. I would pick that brand up again. Next up was this Soft Surroundings shirt that sold really fast for $29.99 with a coupon. It wasn't a size large. It had these cute little like beaded tassels, and it had really nice embroidery. So this is giving me very beachy, summer, tropical type vibes. I sold these Lululemon pants for $20. These were called the On the Fly navy blue pants. They were missing the drawstring, which was a little unfortunate, but I still sold them. Let me get a drink. All right. Alley Miles top, $16. Usually I get more for these. I don't know why this one sat around for so long. It did get marked down a couple of times. It was a size petite, extra large, but that's okay. This person said, I'm looking forewarned to working with you. Enjoy the balance of your weekend. Thanks, Paige. This was a J. Jill shirt, sold for $35 with a coupon. It was new with tags, retailed for $79. It was a linen blend, so that is reasons why I picked it up, and it sold really quickly, so I'm happy about that. Next up were a pair of Lululemon shorts that sold for $20. These were the Hottie Hot shorts, blue, size 10, a little bit of an older style, I feel like. I sold these men's Patagonia shorts for $23.99 extremely quickly. They just had it written out on the bottom without the logo, but this is a good outdoor brand that's selling good for me right now with hiking season. Another Allie Miles top. This one sold for $20 with promoted listings. Really cool, big, colorful flower print. This was in a size petite large. I sold these Spanx pants for $17.99. These were the perfect pant in a high-rise black, size large. I don't know if I would pick up this style again. They were just like a skinny pair, so not like the most desirable one. I did sit for a bit. This was an Alice and Olivia skirt that sold for $61, so I was really happy with this. I mean, looking at it, obviously, you're like, this is so unique. It has like animal print and feathers on it. And I did find there was a picture of some people wearing it. Maybe, Pretty Little Liars, it says. So I did put that picture in with my description. I also put that up in my title. I don't know if that helped it, but I tried it. Free People jeans, $34.02. These are a pair of black high-rise curvy stretch flare. So those, I was happy with that sale. Next up was the St. John top that sold for $26.50. This was a leaf print, probably long sleeve, I think, or 3/4 length sleeve top. St. John is very expensive. It sells nowhere close to retail, but it is still good to pick up. This LL Bean jacket sold fast, and I was kind of surprised. This sold for $33.30. I did put like a chore coat. The quilted coats I feel like are in right now. So even though it's getting into summer, it still sold really fast. So I would say list everything all the time. That's just at least what I do. Next up was this Coach clutch. I had a feeling this would sell really fast. It sold for $80 with a 15% off coupon. I picked this up at Style Encore, I think for $25. It had these little like skeleton guys on them. Looking it up, they have a character name and it's Bonesy. It had a little bit of color transfer there, but yeah, super fast sale on that. I was very happy with that. It was like a snowman scene. Next up was the brand Olakai. These sandals sold for $25. The last time I had men's Olakai sandals, they also sold for $20. Probably could get a little bit more, but I was taking offers, like I said. Lululemon leggings sold for $25 with a coupon. These were a size 4, and they were navy blue. These were the fast and free, and they were crops. And they still sold for $25, but the fast and free tend to do pretty decent for me. I guess some people still like crop leggings, but it's definitely not very popular. Another pair of Brooks that sold for over $30. These ones sold for $34.20. These were a size 8.5, and these were the Ghost 10. So be on the lookout for Brooks shoes because they have been selling really good for me lately. I sold this Anthropologie Maeve sweater extremely quickly for $27. This was 100% cashmere, and then it had that like leopard or cheetah on the front. I was happy with that. Next up was this Eileen Fisher jacket that sold for $35. This was in a size 1X, and it was a silk burgundy like mid-length jacket. Next up was a Sundance top that sold for $16. This was a size petite small, so not the best size. It had like these buttons on the cuff, and it was more of like a thermal type material. This Alice and Olivia blazer sold really fast. This sold for $45. So 2 Alice and Olivia sales this week. I am happy with that. Polka dot, I felt like it was not super current, so I put retro. I don't know. It sold fast, so happy with that. Here's another brand that I hardly ever sell, and it's Chico's. And I'm selling Chico's now, guys. This sold for $26.99. I got it because it was a larger size. It gave me kind of Japanese kimono vibes, and it also was a silk blend. So really cool piece that sold really quickly. Another pair of Lululemon men's shorts. These ones sold for $21, and they were the 11-inch linerless black shorts. I sold this Johnny Was kimono for $75, which is amazing. This is navy blue, size medium. A lot of this embroidered, colorful Johnny Was is selling really fast for me right now. So I was very happy with that. And here's a Burberry shirt, another one. This was a men's shirt that sold for $50. Burberry Brit red gingham button-up shirt. The long sleeves obviously would probably go more than the short sleeves. This is through the 16th, so let's go on to page 2 and see if there's any more sales from the 16th. Oh yeah, another Chico's top. This one sold for $24.30. This was pink. I was going to say embroidered and pink, but not really embroidered, I guess, kind of lacy. Large, extra large. This is their newer tag. And praise, it has normal sizing on it and not the number sizing. It was also a linen blend, so I think that helped it sell. So I guess I'm selling Chico's now, guys, which I never did before. I tried it at the very beginning of my reselling career. I did horrible with it. But now I feel like I'm better with the factor stacking. So yay. And that's it. That's it for my sales. So let me tell you my numbers. Look at that, guys. I remembered. For some reason, my what sold videos do not do as good. So if you guys are watching this and you actually like it, leave me a comment and give me a thumbs up, I was going to say. I was going to announce the winner. She messaged me last night about the printer. Her name is Anais Wren, maybe. So I did pick the second printer giveaway. Jadens is going to go ahead and send her a printer. So thank you so much to Jadens for supporting my channel and doing 2 giveaways. I was really, really happy with that. So yeah, I'm thinking about possibly trying to do monthly giveaways, but I'd like to do them on my what sold videos, but they don't get as many views. But I'm like, oh, maybe that'll get more people to come watch them, but it's not working. Sometimes YouTube is just hard to figure out. But anyway, sales. The one personal sale, my friend hasn't paid for the joggers yet. So, $18.61 on that. That's my profit after cost of goods. This is all profit after cost of goods and fees and everything taking out. So, Depop, I made $62.80. Mercari, I made $29.71. eBay, I made $794.33. Poshmark, I made $536.68. So for the week, I made $1,442.13. Profit per day, $206.02. That's kind of been my average lately. Would love to get it up to $275 a day, but I'm probably going to have to just grow my store, is what I figured out. I am slowly growing my store. I am up to listing 18 per day, and my store is at, let's see, around 1.4K. So I'm getting close to where I'm going to start having to add some more bins, but I want to grow my store. I think that's the way that I'm going to make more money. I tried the $20 profit thing with summer. That's just really hard. It was really hard to source. I was sourcing a ton, and I don't want to get burnt out from this job. So I'm going to stick with the lower price stuff and just try to grow my store. I think that's going to be easier for me. That being said, I need to go get ready. I am running a garage sale for a Heartland Christian School just to serve them and volunteer. I need to put up some signs. I need to take some stuff in. And I'm just taking my computer along and doing work there. So that's my day and that's my weekend. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you're making really good sales. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new video. Bye.